Hello guys, this is FortDefender. Today we're going to have a painting video. Star Wars Legion, painting your Star Wars Legion core set or expansion pack B1-Battle droids. So I glued together a lot of them here. I think I have most of them. I already did some of them to test it out so I can show you what a final copy would look like. We have a B1-Battle droid here. Still need to base it. A little bit of damage, you know. They look pretty cool. So if you want it to look like that, I'll show you exactly how. So you're going to want these paints that I have here. This, you can use any black really, but that's like a really cheap one because you're going to use a lot of black and I don't have a lot to spend on paint. And I'm using this paint here. That one, I would get this brand of metallic paint. Same with these next two. I would get this brand of Citadel in this exact color. Works really well for me. And then also Citadel Milk Oil. If you don't have it already, that's definitely something you should buy and something to have on you in the future. Also, you should buy this for assembling your miniatures. Just a pro tip, because I spent a lot of time building miniatures and stuff, and definitely the best I've seen so far with that stuff right there that I just showed you. So let's see what brush I want to use. This brush will work here. That brush will work. So I'm gonna shake this up, you know, shake it up the paint before you use it. So I do with all of them. The other one's shade, so I mean, you should shake it up, but now we got some fantastic paint there. Now what you're gonna want to do is you're gonna want to put one coat on it to start, like this guy here. Just don't put it on the blaster, just one coat of tan to start. So you're just gonna do, you don't want to do too much, just a good coat, I would say, over the first battle droid. You can get it on the blaster if you feel like it. That's what I'm showing you guys. If it aids you in painting this to any extent, I would get it on the blaster. I'll grab some more paint here. And I'm probably going to get a little bit on my hands, but that's alright. The one thing to make sure you get is like inside here. It's a little hard to get the paint in there sometimes, and sometimes you can forget, which I can say I've done multiple times already. Just in the few battle droids I already did paint. So, and you can paint up there from underneath. And honestly, the painting isn't, the assembly is probably harder than the painting because you have to like cut them out and everything, unlike every other unit that they've had. The Separatists, you usually have to cut them out of like a hard plastic like thing. Don't really know how to describe it. Sheet maybe. But then you have to glue so many parts together. So it's just a lot more time consuming to do the battle droids. Let's see if I can get to focus. There we go. Let's focus right here, not in the background. So like I said, it's not going to look perfect on your first coat. You just want to get a decent amount. But not too much. Don't do it like smooth and not like a lot of paint like clumped together, because that takes forever to dry. And with multiple coats, you do not want it taking forever to dry, especially after you spent so long. So like that's a clump of paint. You don't want that much. You want like, let's see, maybe that much. Yeah, that much will work. Especially after you spent so long putting it together, you don't want to be waiting forever to paint, because I know you guys probably want to play as soon as possible. If you're somebody that's like me and thinks it's unbalanced to have some of your miniatures painted and some of them not, and you have to paint them before you start playing with them, I know how you feel. That's me. I have to make sure all of the miniatures are painted before I even start playing with any new units. So that's why I have not used any of the clone troopers or anything yet. Now the clone troopers, I did do those already. They're already finished. But if I do get the Phase 2 clone troopers, it's pretty much the same process. So I can show you guys that process there. If you get a little bit too much, you just brush off. And there you go. So I'm gonna have to get some paint on my hands because there's no way to do the feet otherwise, really. But that's okay. Almost forgot that part there. It's just making it interesting. I mean, if you really don't like paint on your hands, you can go wash it off. I'm not really bothered by it that much. So that one's first coated right there. Now let's take the one that we already first coated. This one looks like I did a decent job first coating it. Looks like it just needs a second coat. But not too much of one. It looks like it was done pretty well. Yeah, it was... Maybe I did second coat and just missed the spot. Second coat's just like touching up, you know. Try not to get too much like in the eye area and stuff, because that can be, well, not your eyes. Well, try not to get in your eyes, but try not to get in like the eye area up here. Let's see if I can refocus this. Come on. There we go. Like the eye area up here, try not to get too much in there. Now I'll let that dry for a second. That one can dry for a second. We can get started. I know this one's a little bit tricky to do, so I'll show you guys this one. Don't want them sitting in paint though. I usually go from like the first one to the second one to the third one, then back to the first one. That way it's just like you can get more done while you're waiting. Usually the third one or the fourth one is usually a good amount of time to wait if you didn't do it too thick of coats. And then yeah, this one's kind of fun though. It's got like a rocket launcher. Now I haven't looked too much into his cards for the rocket launcher battle droid because I don't play the Separatists. Funny enough. I'm gonna play the Republic when I do it, so I've been looking at those types of cards. So, I don't know. Maybe I will play the Separatists, but I really just wanted to get them painted so that I can test them out on the battlefield. And see, that was too much there. But that's okay. We're okay. We can fix that. There we go. Easy fix. You just clean your brush of all the paint on it, and then you can get rid of that clump of paint there. Works pretty well. It's got this like face up to the scope. That's pretty cool. Let's get the back of it. It's even got like a tail on the missile. That's pretty cool. Wow. It did a lot of detail, I can say, on some of their models, which I say I like. But just maybe too much detail, if that's what causes them to have to break it into a bazillion pieces. If you know what I mean. Which you probably do by now. Yeah, get the top of his head here. The inside. And while we wait a minute for the second coat one to finish up, I can show you a little tip I found for assembling them. Okay. Almost done here. Now I can actually hold the rocket launcher so I don't get paint all over my fingers for the feet. Even though I already have. So that's okay. Sorry about that, guys. No, it's a personal preference if you want to paint the bottom of the feet. I just do it sometimes if I feel like it. Other times I won't. Because, I mean, you're gluing them to the base, so. And let's get in here. Okay. So that guy, first coat. Usually I tried to buy them up too. Unfinished ones can be over there. First coats right here. Second coats right there. And then final coat I usually put somewhere else. Like I have my final coat over all the way to the left. Let's see. I think I assembled most of the droids though. I only have one left. Oh, and it's not a rocket launcher one I didn't do. So I'll just show you with it still in the thing. So normally what I would do is I would take this piece out and that piece out and I make the head. I glue it together. So usually I do that part first. And then I would also cut out the body and attach both of the legs. And I wait for that to dry. And then once that's done drying, I usually find the arms and I glue the arms together. I know, crazy, right? And while the arms are gluing together, I put the head onto the body. Then I glue the arm, after everything's dried, I glue the arms to the body and put on the backpack. That's just my step per step that I've been doing. Now, this next part I'm going to need a different brush because I'm switching colors to the black paint here. Paint. And then we'll grab our Mr. Battle Droid, get a little bit of black paint. Now this part's a bit fun. However you take that. If you really like painting, this part's fun, but sometimes it can be annoying. The key is not too much paint on your brush. And to have a really fine tip brush. Mine isn't even that fine tipped, but I'm doing alright. And you might get a little on the battle droid, and that is okay. You can touch that up when you're done painting the blaster. Okay. got most of it. Here, let me touch up real quick. Okay, just a little bit more paint. Now I have this blaster finished up. Then I can show you guys. Then again, you're going to paint over the blaster again, so don't go too thick on your paint. And there you go. And I got a little bit on him, so let me touch that up real quick. You can just, get some more paint from your other brush. And almost there. There we go. Now we have our blaster. So we'll let that dry while we put our second coat on these other dudes. So this guy's gonna go off to the side. He's nowhere close to being done. Sorry guys. This might be a longer video. But we can just do our second coat here on this dude. Not too bad. Just some areas that are a little rough. But this will take care of it. Now you pretty much just want it to be a solid color. That gray in there is a little annoying. Don't want that if you can help it. That's why I do a second coat. I mean, if it really doesn't bother you, we're going to put shade over it anyways. So, I mean, you just won't have as detailed of a result. But that's just my preference, guys. That backpack. Looking pretty good now. It's kind of hard to get everything, but if you do a pretty decent job, it makes it look really good. So we're almost there, I think. And then I just have this other leg, and we'll be good on this one. Put it inside his foot. We'll get that paint off later. Second coat. I think that's pretty good. I'm comfortable with that. Now let's move on to this guy here. He looks good too. He might need a little bit more than the last one though for his touch up. Let's get that leg there. Let's get some more paint actually. This jar of tan is perfect. I bet you could get through 2 corsets with it. Just clumsy old me spilled half of it on the floor, but I still have a lot. That's how good it is, guys. This part of it here. That's how good it is and how much you get out of it painting this way. That's definitely why I recommend to buy that kind. Also with the lid, it's so nice. Also guys, it's kind of shiny to you. That's because it's wet paint, not because I put too much on, too thick of paint. It's just shiny because I have the light right above me. It's part of the reason why. Then we just gotta do the nose. Sorry guys. I'll not be able to showcase the weird angle it is to paint his face. That was like a weird angle. That's why some people paint it before they build it, which I mean I don't argue with that theory. It's a pretty good theory or idea of doing it. Just like some people base it after they attach them, some people base it before. I can see both ways of doing it. I'm not saying that either one's wrong, I'm just saying some people have different preferences. My preference is basing before and painting after building it. It's just my way of doing it, guys. Of course I can show you both ways, but it can be a little bit difficult to paint it beforehand when you don't know where all the pieces are going. But then again, you can get a better coat. So there's always a debate there. So now I'm going to grab a third brush, yes. And we're going to grab this. Shake it up. And then see how they have the little lid? It's magnificent. So I'll get some out of my brush. I'll grab Mr. Droid. You're gonna need a little bit more of that. Hang on. There we go. Gotta grab a little bit more. Sorry. So you don't want to leave too much black like that. But you want to get it like, you pretty much just want to paint it again with this. So you can get that damaged look. Let's get more. The problem with the lid is sometimes it closes. But I can't complain with a lid that closes, you know. Sometimes you do want to go a little bit overboard, leave some black onto the Droid. In some areas you want to have a little bit more, I don't know, have it like stand out a little bit more. Make like a shadow almost, you could say. Like in here, you want to have like a shadow, just because that's how you want it. You want to make it look more realistic. I might, yeah, shake this up a little bit more. Okay. Now it might be a bit better. Let's see. It's just a little watered down, but it might be better now. Yeah, it's a lot better now. That's what I needed. It's a good mixing. That's a bit too much. So, if you're having problems, make sure it's mixed up really well, not watered down like mine was. There we go, that's looking a lot better. You can see the difference already, like how much of a difference this stuff makes. I mean, you could leave it the other way, but then it doesn't look like your battle droids like fought in any battles, you know. You might go to the Legion table with a battle droid, it looks like it came off the assembly line. At least in my preference. It's like, no, you want to make it look like it's like war-torn battle droid. It's a lot of experience like you. Now then again, people don't always look super close at the miniatures that you painted on the field. They sometimes worry more about playing the game. But I don't know, just a preference. What do you think, guys? Pretty cool, huh? War-torn battle droid. Now, if you want, you can add some highlighting to the blaster, which I'll be showcasing now. Grab another brush, and we'll take this. I know, a lot of brushes, guys. Probably put that in the description that you need 4 brushes before you start. So take that silver paint I showed you. Get the teeniest amount. And I just put the teeniest amount on it. That way it like shimmers. And if you want, there is some spot. There's one little spot that I missed up here. There we go. And one spot I missed here. Here we go. Oh. What do you think, guys? Battle droids. And then to base it, you can just use some glue, you know, and get the plastic base they gave you out, or the custom ones that you can buy. But hope you guys enjoyed this, and I would really appreciate it if you subscribed. But thanks for watching, guys, and stay tuned for more Legion videos in the future.